Welcome everybody to a championship edition of The Buzz. I got a permanent smile on my face because, well, high school basketball at the state tournament is hard to beat, and in Northeast Nebraska it's hard to beat, especially this year. 11 area teams qualifying for the state tournament. We're going to run down the teams that have qualified for state this year by class, starting with Class A, Norfolk High in the state tournament for the third straight year. For the 8th time in the past 10 years, the Panthers beat Lincoln East in their district final, had to win the game to qualify, and they did. And they get a favorable draw for the state tournament in Fremont, a team that they thumped earlier in the year in the first round. Norfolk High has a very legit shot at getting to a state championship game. Of course, in the second round, they probably have to get through Omaha Central, but this is a group of kids who have been there before. The junior class, Travis Larson, Logan Strom, Lane McCallum, all seeing plenty of playing time since they were freshmen. Brandon Villapando is a senior, kind of the leader for the team. I expect Norfolk High to make some noise at the state tournament. In Class C1, there's 3 area teams that have qualified. In alphabetical order, they are North Bend Central, O'Neill, and Pierce. Very difficult to start ABC order at the ends. North Bend Central and Pierce both qualifying for the first time since 2009. O'Neill qualifying for the first time since 1996. 20-year hiatus is over in O'Neill. O'Neill actually almost didn't qualify. Pierce made a three-pointer that would have won the game, but Mike Emery called a timeout, nullifying the three. Pierce was unable to hit a game-winning shot then in the district final. O'Neill qualifies. Pierce gets in as a wild card. They will meet in the first round for the 4th time this year. Pierce won the first 2 meetings, and then O'Neill won the district final 56-54. Pierce, of course, led by Taggart Bailey, one of the best players in the state. O'Neill kind of reined him in the 4th quarter, but he was able to score 25 points in that district final. O'Neill has talent all over the floor. Justin Appleby, the sophomore, has kind of stepped up as their leader lately. North Bend Central has one of the top scorers in the state in Jake Whitfeld, and North Bend Central will take on Adams Central in the first round, a 2 p.m. game in Class C1. Moving on to Class C2, where half the field is area teams, including Ainsworth. Ainsworth qualified as a wild card after losing in the first round of the sub-districts to Clearwater Orchard, but Ainsworth fans, I didn't say anything about the possibility of qualifying for state because I didn't want to jinx you, since you all said that I jinxed your team. I didn't jinx your team, and I'm not going to predict them to do anything in the state tournament because I'm not going to jinx them. I'm going to tell you this. Brady Delamont is one of the best players in the field in Class C2. I would say the very best if it weren't for David Wingett of Winnebago. Winnebago back in the state tournament after winning C1 a year ago. They're the number 1 seed in Class C2 this year, and they're going to play West Holt. West Holt came out of that Ainsworth sub-district, beating Creighton in the district final to qualify for state for the first time since 1992. But they have a lot of talent in both their senior and sophomore classes. Mason Hale has come on lately, hit some big shots, become a pretty darn good 3-point shooter for the Huskies. Also in Class C2, Battle Creek is back in the state tournament for the 3rd year in a row, and they get to play Hastings St. Cecilia, team that beat them in the C2 semifinals a year ago. And one of the best players in the state also plays for Battle Creek. His name is Kobe. Kobe Lade. Lade and the Braves beat a very good Twin River team to qualify for the state tournament. In Class D1, only one area team qualified, and that's Walthill. Walthill is 20-3 on the year. 2 of those losses are to Winnebago. Their other losses to Meade. Meade is the number 1 seed in Class D2 with only 1 loss on the year. Walthill might be a little overlooked going into the state tournament. They had a 76-46 win in the sub-district final over Osmond. Kobe Smith, we know about him playing for Winnebago last year, transferring back to Walthill. This is a group that when they were freshmen, the seniors this year, there were only 6 kids on the roster. 5 of those kids were freshmen, so they were thrown into the fire from day one, and they've responded this year, qualifying for state for the first time since 1990 for Walthill. I mentioned Kobe Smith, but there's a lot of talent around him. Casey Porter can knock shots down as soon as he steps into the gym. Hit 5 3-pointers in that district win over Osmond. You know, Jeff Beller doesn't play for the Blue Jays this year, but these guys are hoping to do something that Jeff Beller did in 1976 for Walthill, and that's get to a state championship game. Maybe do a little more because they were the runners-up that year. Last year's Class D1 runners-up, St. Francis, this year is another good bet to reach the Class D2 state finals. A big reason why is because Damian Baumgart, Kyle Wemhoff, Cole Wemhoff provide a scoring trio second to none in Class D2. Why Not, though, is going to try and prevent St. Francis from getting to the D2 finals because they could meet in the semifinals. Last time Why Not was in the state tournament was 2013, and that year they won it all, defeating Spalding/Spalding Academy. So if you're looking for champions in Class D2, Humphrey St. Francis is your winner. In Class D1, Walthill is your winner. In Class C2, Winnebago is your winner. Winnebago will beat Hastings St. Cecilia in the championship game because, quite frankly, Ainsworth, you're not getting to the championship game. There's not a chance. There is not a chance in Brown County, Ainsworth, that you'll be playing for a state championship this year. It's just not going to happen. That should be enough to get a jinx away, right? Sure. Okay. And in Class C1, Wahoo Newman is going to win the state championship. They're going to edge Pearson overtime in the semifinals, and they're going to beat Columbus SCOTUS in the championship game. In Class A, Norfolk High is going to reach the state championship game, but they're going to have to face Omaha South, and Omaha South is on another level. Omaha South gets it done this year, winning the Class A state championship. Those are my predictions, and I don't even care about Class B because we don't have any teams from there. I'm out. I'll talk to you after championship basketball for the last time this year. Peace in the Middle East. What?